Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Nikken Business Opportunity webcast. We're joined tonight by Tony Scoma down there in Mapleton, Utah. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Dennis. It's good to be with you.
Thank you. And of course, Reid Nelson out in Portland, Oregon. Hey, Reid.
Hey Dennis, how we doing?
I'm excellent, but I'll get better, as I always say.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, we have a little bit of a webcast here for you tonight, about 30 minutes to take you through some information regarding Nikken. Nikken is a company who we feel offers you the very best opportunity for a multitude of solutions in your life. We're going to talk about tonight, you see here on this first screen, discovering the freedom you desire and then creating a more meaningful life. And as we look at that, Tony, when you first got started with Nikken, I know you were looking for a couple of things, but what was the freedom you were looking for?
Well, Dennis, I had been already by that time in my life, 34 years old. I had been an employee. I had been self-employed, being my own boss, but nobody else working with me. And then I was a partner in a franchise business where we had employees. And I realized that when you have a business, you're the last one to get paid after all the other expenses are paid. Um, I had seen network marketing previous to Nikken, but I had never seen a business plan and a product and a company that brought it all together that I could really trust and go forward with, a product line I could really love.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking for it. Our franchise business was not earning us enough money. We have a large family. I think we had at the time 7 children with our eighth one on the way. And I had to make some really major choices at that time to really shift career, shift emphasis, and that's what I was looking for, was a chance to create unlimited and residual income.
Awesome, awesome. Well, those of you that are listening to us tonight, if you're new and you're looking at Nikken for the first time, imagine for just a moment you've decided, I think I really would like to become an entrepreneur. I'd like to start my own business, and you've decided to get a little advice from someone who might be a business consultant, someone who can give you some advice and maybe counsel you, mentor you a little bit in getting started. And perhaps they would ask you some of the questions you see in front of you right now. What industry are you going to be involved with? What kind of company are you going to align yourself with? What are the products you're going to bring to the marketplace? Do you have a business plan, and what does that look like? Are you going into business all by yourself, or is there some kind of a support mechanism in place? And then lastly, is the biggest piece of the pie here, the biggest segment, is you. And Reid, we talk about you, and we've made that segment large for a reason. What should we share with the folks about why that's so large?
Well, because they're the most important ingredient. I think we've all made decisions in our lives about various things, business, personal life, all types of things. And all we ask people to do all the time is to do their due diligence.
Yeah.
Check us out thoroughly. Look at like you would any business. And you look at like you just went through the industry, the company, the products, all the things you need to do and check out to make a decision. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. You've got to make a decision that's best for you and your situation. And we laugh about this all the time, but there is no college course called Decision Making 101. And so I know that I personally have made some mistakes in my past in business, and I'm sure anybody who's on a business has. But there's a lot of things to look at, and I think this is like anything else. But you become the biggest ingredient of it all because it's totally up to you in this case. You check it out thoroughly, you make the decision, and then it's up to you to go forth and build with our help.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we asked the question, why wellness? Why now? Why Nikken? And I know, Tony, as you're involved in building your business, you've been around for a few years now, and as you get together with folks either on a conference call like this or perhaps face to face, and these questions come up, how do you answer them?
Well, the demographics of our whole society has changed really in the time frame that we've been in Nikken. One, before when we got started, people didn't know what wellness was. Prevention and primary care still came from a doctor. I think many more people are aware of the things that they can do to stave off disease, to stave off injury and other problems. And so our population is becoming much more aware of being proactive in how they choose their health care. And when I say health care, it really should be a proactive approach. We stay healthy. That's what we want to do. And so Nikken's been on the forefront of this since 1975, starting in Japan, which I think is interesting because we're talking about the number one healthiest country in the world, coming to the richest country in the world that hasn't done such a great job in prevention. So this is as timely as ever. And as part of the baby boomers, I was in my mid 30s at that time. Now I'm in my mid 50s, as is a large portion of the population, their 50s and 60s. And if they're not thinking about money, they're thinking about health.
Yeah. What is it, like 10,000 turning age 66 every single day? That's a huge market. We look at the media. If we take the election cycle out of what's happening right now, we see that both healthcare and the economy are drivers in the media. So for the first time in history, we actually have the media driving our opportunity for folks. Well, as we continue on, we look at really our philosophy, our mission here, the 5 pillars of health, and the key being balance in these 5 pillars: healthy body, mind, family, society, and finances. If you look at the top of that screen, it says our mission is to inspire individuals to discover a whole new way of life and then provide the opportunity to live it. Reid, I know when you first heard about Nikken, that 5 pillars was about the only thing that resonated with you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. A guy named Dave Johnson called me on the phone and he gave me this pitch. I call it a pitch today. You know, about health and wellness and all this stuff, and I didn't get it. Honestly, didn't get it. Didn't understand what he was talking about. He was talking magnetic sleep systems and stuff. Like, wow, this is pretty strange. But when he said the company had a philosophy and he called it the 5 pillars of health, the healthy mind, body, family, society, and finances you see there, that resonated really well with me because I was raised in a family that really believed in that. Even though we really never had that kind of balance in our life, it was something we believed in and wanted to achieve. It was kind of a natural thing. And I believe that people that are attracted to Nikken are really attracted to that.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, as we continue on, if you're looking for an opportunity, you might as well be aligned with a company with a track record of success. And you look at Nikken, founded in 1975, as Tony mentioned, in Japan, 37 plus years old, a real track record, a legacy company, billions in total sales. And I often say this to folks, they'll say to me, well, do your products really work? And I say there's not that many stupid people in the world to buy billions of dollars worth of product that doesn't work. And that sounds a little unjust, but if you stop and think about it for a moment, a company that doesn't have a good product line, that doesn't bring something to the marketplace that makes an impact on people's lives, we're not going to sell billions of dollars of products or have millions of satisfied customers, have a 5A1 Dun& and Bradstreet rating, be totally debt free. There's not many companies that can boast in today's economy about being debt free and being able to make the decisions that they want to do to move the company forward based on the need of what's going on in the marketplace versus the ability to get credit. And so Nikken literally is a legacy company with a track record of success. And that success has been founded upon innovations inspired by nature, a concept known as the wellness home, offering total wellness solutions. Tony, when you chat with people about, and you talked a little bit about the boomers, and if they're not looking for health, they're looking for income, and talking about these technologies driving this concept known as wellness. What do you say to folks about our overall wellness solutions, this wellness home concept?
Well, I like to emphasize, Dennis, that Nikken is really a research and development company. I mean, this is a company that is always on the forefront of finding the best way to deliver proactive health approach, and they take a very pragmatic and logical approach. What helps us? Well, we have to sleep well, we have to breathe good air, we have to drink excellent water. We have to, if we can, reduce the aches and discomforts of life in a very natural way. All these types of things, including the nutrition we take into our bodies, is all the things that Nikken has done. I've always equated it, like when I lived down in San Diego County, we had a lot of uh, uh, greenhouses around. And you think, well, San Diego has perfect weather. Why would they have greenhouses? Because you can still really control the environment, the elements that you're giving the plants to make them absolutely super healthy as you're sending them out throughout the world. Well, that's what we want to do with the home. We just tell people we're creating a greenhouse for the human body in the home with these Nikken technologies. It's a logical, pragmatic approach that works, and I mean it works fantastically well. I've always been very proud of the fact that Nikken has products that are unequaled in the marketplace. Really, nobody else can equal what we have. They don't even have what we have, and so that makes it a very easy sell because the products do sell themselves.
Absolutely. Well, folks, in 30 minutes, we're obviously not going to be able to give you a product experience. So we're going to encourage you to get with the individual who invited you onto this webcast tonight and get an opportunity to fully experience, get a demonstration of these technologies and see how they can impact your life in just a very short amount of time. Literally, these are technologies for the most part that can make a difference you can feel, an experiential difference in the matter of 5-10 minutes of looking at these technologies. Well, we're going to move on now to talk about our business plan and our business concept. We are a network marketing company. If you're on the call tonight and you have a challenge with network marketing, I respectfully suggest you get over it. It's an industry whose time has come. You look at this quote by Robert Kiyosaki. It says, "The richest people in the world build networks. Everyone else looks for work." And as we look at the economy and the situation today, there's a lot of people looking for work. We've got college students coming out of college, and 50% of them can't get jobs in their career field. They're still doing the kinds of things they did to put themselves through college. We've got a real challenge out there, and there's really no solution except for owning your own businesses. And when you look at the opportunity to own your own business, it's really being the entrepreneur in the concept of network marketing that really provides the opportunity. Low startup costs, tremendous return on investment, opportunity to create the kind of lifestyle that you want. But Reid, you know what really excites me when we look at these bullet points? More than 200 million people will enter in the next decade. That's exciting, knowing that people are looking for and being driven to our opportunity.
Dennis, I think every time and I don't do this very much, honestly, only when I usually fly do I ever pick up a newspaper
Yeah,
as an example.
yeah,
I don't take a newspaper, it's just too negative for me. But, every time anything with the media, if it's television, if it's newspaper, whatever, they don't realize they're driving people right to us.
yeah,
You know, with all that energy about, or the negative energy, you should say, about the economy and about healthcare. And in this particular situation, especially about the economy, because we know for a fact that what the number one reason that people get involved in network marketing is for the money.
yeah, yeah.
They can fight that all they want, but that's just the way it is. And people are looking for ways to supplement their income, as well as in some cases to start a whole new career.
Right.
And in this case, we have both of those items and many more.
Yep, yep, absolutely, absolutely, and it's an opportunity for the first time in history that are being driven by people who are outside the industry. The Donald Trumps, the Paul Zane Pilsers, the Robert Kiyosaki's, the Warren Buffetts, people who are in the know in the business world that are driving people to network marketing and endorsing this as an opportunity for folks. Well, the course that we take and the systems that we use determines the success that we can have. And right now, we are looking at our ABC process. Which Tony, how do you utilize this? Tell the folks what the ABC process is and how you utilize it.
Well, Dennis, no matter how well you understand the products, the marketing plan, and all the rest of it, this is a business of leverage. You have to get other people involved as you prospect. We're looking for people to either become long-term customers or long-term partners in our business. And to do that, they need to know that there's a support group. And the best way to do that is to introduce them to people. So oftentimes when I get to know somebody for the very first time, I'll put them on the phone with you or Reid, or perhaps somebody that has had a really profound product experience so they can share. Again, it all validates what we do as a business. And all I want to do is help these people as they're doing their due diligence to come to the conclusion that this is the right either business to get into and involved with us, or to buy the product and tell other people about it, because that's our end game, is the fact that we're a business that helps other people. And the only way people know about us is by us talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Reid, this isn't a brand new system either, is it? I mean, this has been around for a while.
No, this is age old. I mean, I, I don't know what people's belief systems are, but the only one that's ever stood the test of time is this. You go buy a car, and you go talk to the salesperson, and he turns you to somebody else, and they're always doing these things. When I was involved in the life insurance business many years ago, I had a sales manager that trained me, and he just said, "Make the appointments. I'll go with you, and I'll make the presentations. You learn from me." And that was a classic ABC. This right here tonight is it ABC.
Yes.
We're the experts, supposedly we're the presenters here, and the B's are all the people on the phone tonight or on this video call that have brought guests with them, and of course their C is their guest, and it's our job to help those guests get the idea. So it's the ABC. It's been around for centuries. Absolutely.
The only system that's really withstood the test of time overall. Well, when we look at the Nikken business model, is a very busy slide, but take just a moment to look at it. It's the idea is about the concept of leverage. And many of us understand the idea of leveraging money. We understand about putting it in savings, getting a return on the investment, and understanding how to leverage our money. But we don't really know about the concept of leveraging time and the idea of making an investment of time and then creating a network where there are also people who are investing a certain amount of time that accrues both to their benefit and to your benefit. So, Reid, when you talk about this concept of leverage, how do you share that with the folks?
Well, it's really quite simple, but for most business people, they've never done something like this. They don't. It takes a while to grasp, but it really comes out the fact that the bigger the network, the more volume runs through it, the bigger the check.
Exactly.
Small network, small check. Big network, big check. That lady up there in the left-hand corner, the small little picture you see there, she obviously has shared this with some people, and some of those people became customers. Some of those people actually became consultants with us, and therefore her time leverage has expanded. Those folks that got involved with her, maybe she has 5 to 10 hours a week. Well, if all those 5 people there that joined her had 5 hours a week, that's 25 additional hours in her week that she didn't have before, that she's not putting in, and that just multiplies. One of those people made a decision, and she's the second lady you see there in that line, and she's introduced this to people. Some became customers, some became consultants, and now there's more time. And there's more dollars flowing through there. The same thing, so on and so forth. So it's one of those things where, our job really is to help build a network. Like Robert Kiyosaki said, the richest people in the world build networks, and that's exactly what we do. And so, like you said before, however, that the idea of making a supplementary income can be done fairly simple in these business with retail sales and a few consultants. If you want to make an income out for a lifetime, well, then you have to have a big network. But that's what we're here to do. You can leverage us to help you build your network, and that's what we want to do.
Through that ABC process that we just talked about. Well, when we look at the
Absolutely.
compensation plan, Tony, I know it's a little confusing. You see all those colors going across the screen, and it's kind of like, wow, what does all that mean? And numbers and all kinds of stuff there. But really, it boils down to the quote that we see there by Zig Ziglar. You can have anything in life or everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. How do you explain this compensation plan in just a matter of a minute or so, Tony?
Well, Dennis, people understand a couple of concepts. One is they understand their local real estate agent. I was just passing a real estate office here in Springville, Utah, and it said agents wanted. And I thought, I'm not sure how many agents are walking by their office, but what they want is they want to get agents in there to find listings or to create buyers, because that broker is going to make an override on whatever activity that happens in that with those agents. And so with that, Dennis, what we do, and the great thing about us is that we're not looking for people who are buying cars or buying insurance or buying houses, which is a very limited market and a lot of competition. What we have is something so extraordinary and so unique that I find that everybody needs it and they just don't know about it. So we're really unveiling something to a lot of these people that they have never seen before, which is, I think, quite unique and quite interesting. So it's not that difficult to share. And so all I'm trying to do is help enough people find what their dream is. And for us, it was a change in direction. I mean, we had our eighth child the month we started our business. We ended up with 10 children. To have 10 children and to raise them takes some resources. And I not only wanted the money, Dennis, I wanted the time.
Yeah.
And to do that, I had to create an organization by which and through which product is sold. And so whether I'm working or not, after a period of time and after I built the foundation, knowing that there was no guarantee of success in this business, but every possibility of unlimited potential, we now still make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every month, whether we put in the effort or we don't put in the effort. But the one thing that I want to make very clear is that my job is still to help everybody in my organization become as successful as possible. Now, what ends up happening is just like children, is when they raise up to be adults, you're really not in there to micromanage your adult children. You're there to support them and love them and allow them to fly free. And that's what we do with our leaders. And so there are people that I don't have to talk to on a very regular basis that are still active because they're not doing it for me. They're doing it for themselves. We're trying to help people become independent, have the time and money freedom that we enjoy, and everybody wins.
Absolutely. So, Reid, what's the secret to this compensation plan?
Well, it's pretty simple, Dennis. That little purple thing down there at the bottom says direct. and there's one up at the top, kind of an aqua blue thing, says Royal Diamond, and the real secret is to go from the bottom to the top as quick as possible. You know, on a phone call like this, to get into all that detail would be impossible. So, get with the people that put you on this call tonight, go over all the details with them. But you know what, Dennis and Tony, both of you, this is an amazing compensation plan. It pays out very well. I've been around network marketing almost 40 years now, and this is pays out so well and to so many people compared to whatever I've seen in my lifetime that it's an amazing program. So you got to sit down to put you on this call tonight and make sure that you go over with them.
Yeah, bigger the network, the bigger the check.
Absolutely.
So speaking of that, what would make a difference to you as you're sitting tonight watching this call, listening to what we have to say? We have distributors every single month who are making an extra 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 and more. And some of you may be sitting there looking at this going, oh, wow, I can't imagine $10,000 a month. That's okay. Imagine an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine an extra $500 a month. And figure what would that mean to you and your family if suddenly, let's put it into perspective, tomorrow your boss walks in and says, I'm giving you a $500 a month raise. Would you be happy? Would that make a difference in your life? How would your life change? What would be different for you tomorrow from today if that happened? And that's what we're offering you. For some people, 500 to 1,000 wouldn't mean much. They need 5,000, they need 10,000. I know, Reid, when you got started, you were looking for that magical 5,000, or was it 10,000?
I was looking for 5. We were accustomed to 10.
Yeah.
But after going bankrupt, 5 looked really good.
Yep, that's pretty amazing. Well, folks, take a look at this and figure out which number is something that would make a difference for you in your life, and get with the person who invited you here and sit down and say, you know what, show me how I can make an extra 5,000 or an extra 1,000 or an extra 500. I want to make a difference in my family's life. And then together with that consultant, there's a whole support network that's in place, a system that's there. I know the three of us will be heading off here in a few days, going down to the annual convention. In this case, it's going to be a leadership convention. Our annual, every year we have either a leadership or a convention. There's international business support, a Humans Being More training. Tony, what this Humans Being More all about?
Well, going back to those 5 pillars that you talked to Reid about, it's about balance in life. And what really turns you on? What is your passion? Nikken wants you to find out what you really want. And I think that that's the most important question to be answered here is how do you get where what you want and really what you want? Because I think so many people put their dreams on a shelf and bypass them because they just don't believe it's possible to get them. In Nikken, dreams are possible.
So literally, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Absolutely.
Support training right from the mental how-tos. Remember, we started this off by talking about the biggest piece of the puzzle is you. And for some people who have never been in business for themselves, it takes a little bit of an adjustment. And this Humans Being More and the other support networks that are in place, but particularly Humans Being More, help you to really drill down. Take a look at what you want, why you're successful in your life, maybe why not. Maybe what gets in your way, how do we sabotage ourselves, those kinds of things, so that you can go out the door and have a clean slate, have a clean runway to kick off and head and go and do in the direction that you want. The last thing there on this list is team support systems. And this is an example of it here tonight. You may be brand new tonight, never heard of Nikken before, and literally through the power of this Magnetic Team Builders platform, you have the opportunity to get your guests in front of people who have made millions of dollars in this industry, to hear the tips, whether we're talking about opportunity call or training call or tips to move through the various ranks, as you saw on the other slide. Literally, there's a support network in place to take you where you want to go. So as we wrap up tonight, the question becomes, what are you looking for? Is it more free time, financial security, better health? Is it a way to make a difference? For my wife and I, when we got started, it was more free time. Matter of fact, it was just time, period. My wife had become a single married mother. I was working 7 days a week. I'd leave the house at 6:30 in the morning. I'd get home at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, sometimes later. I was gone 4 days a week from our home. I would spend 4 days a week in one community, come home for 3 days, and go right back and do it again. Literally, I was home long enough to fall into bed at about 11:30 at night and then get up and be out the door again at 6:30 in the morning. That's no way to live a life. That's no way to have a marriage. It's no way to raise a family. It was literally taking its toll on my health, my family life, all those 5 pillars we just talked about. Every one of them was impacted, including the financial pillar. Now, we had one very successful business, and we decided that if one was good, two's got to be better. I'll double my income. Well, then I quadrupled my expenses. And it was kind of like, literally like the Chinese acrobat. You see the guy spinning the plates, and they go down the road and they spin the plates. And when they get at the end, guess what? The first plate is wobbling. And so you got to run back and spin that plate. And that's where I was at in my life. I needed a change when Nikken came into my life. Now we fast forward 21 plus years today, we live the life that most people only dream of. And so as we look at this, what were you looking for? I was looking for more free time. For Reid and Tony, it was another reason for them. And it's important that you get in touch with what you're looking for in your life, what might be missing, where we might be able to provide a solution. Maybe it's a combination of all of those. So as we wrap up tonight, let's do this. Tony, let's go out to you first. What would you say to the folks as we're wrapping this up? They're brand new. It's their first look at Nikken. What would you say to those folks?
Well, I would tell them that they really need to experience what we have. I don't think I could not understand. Reid was one of the first people I met when I looked at Nikken for the first time, and I realized that there was a potential to take what I was earning in a year and maybe make it into a monthly income. I mean, not everybody does that, but that was one of my dreams. But I had to experience the products. I had to experience the people and the company and the philosophy. Once I saw all that, I realized this is something I want to be a part of, a community that was moving forward in the right direction. And Nikken's still doing that today, 7 years after they've started. And so we are an inclusive group, and we want you to be part of it. And so please experience what we have.
Yeah, absolutely. And how about you, Reid? What would you say to the folks that are brand new here tonight?
Well, check us out. Just check us out. Like we talked about in the very beginning, do your due diligence. Check the company, check the products, check it all out. I always tell people if you had $1 million in your hands and you were going to go invest that money in something, you would certainly check it out before you put your money in, right? Nobody's going to ask you to put $1 million in. You'll never have to do that, but you should check it out as if you were going to. That way you'd be very serious about what you're looking at, because this has the potentiality to do some great things for you in your life. Yeah. And so check it out thoroughly, then make a decision that's correct for you. The other thing I'd say is, that we got involved, or like you were talking about why we got involved. Why we got involved to make some money. We were broke. We were looking for a way not to be broke. I hate being broke. Nothing noble about being broke. I can't think of anything anyway. And so number one, we wanted to make some money. Number two, we wanted to have some fun. A lot of people out there just aren't having any fun in life. And I don't think that we're supposed to be here just to be frowny and stressed out and all that kind of stuff. We need to have some fun in life. And this business is a lot of fun, And lastly, we want to do something to help people, physically, financially, in every way possible. So I figured the absolute most incredible, well-rounded opportunity would be one we can make a lot of money, have a lot of fun, and help a lot of people. And it just doesn't get much better than that. And we get to do that every day of our life. So it's absolutely worthwhile. So come join us.
Absolutely. Well, folks, those of you who are new and listening to us tonight, get back with the person who invited you. You've heard us say that a couple of times. Make sure you go completely through the information gathering process. Get your questions answered. Get on the phone, chat with one of us. Do whatever is necessary to get your questions answered. And then we'd love to have you join us on the Nikken Highway. Have a great evening, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.